Gentlemen,
So welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're gonna reacting Hervey Zach at Hervey Zach predicting the rest of the Champions League. And if you like the video, make sure to subscribe, like, and comment down below your predictions. As he speaks, I'm gonna say my opinions about his predictions and see if he gets any similar ones. And unlike the other people, I'm not gonna pause that much. I'm only the main point. So let's get in.
welcome to my final Champions League prediction video for this season. Yes, I'm going to be predicting the rest of the Champions League in my final long format video. I will be doing a few short updates for the future matchups in the semifinals and finals for all the other competitions as well. But yeah, for those of you that are new around here, I usually focus on international football on this channel, so from here on out, it's going to be mostly World Cup coverage. Of course, club football will be still going on time to time, and of course,
Same like her at Hervey Zach, I'm also gonna post about internationally going on the World Cup. I'm gonna make my predictions before every single matchup. So if you want, guys, this press the bell icon to get notified for those new videos, and let's jump in
for the competition. And of course, like I said, I'm predicting the rest, so I will go over my potential semi-final and final as well in this video. I'm recording this as soon as the round of 16 has ended. A lot of those matchups were very one-sided over both legs. We've got four Premier League clubs that have just been eliminated.
Well, he's not lying. So many games got very big scores like Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern demolished Atalanta, and Premier League clubs were very awful. Like he is saying,
Two remaining. And isn't it crazy that out of the Premier League clubs that have been eliminated, Tottenham were the closest in their matchup?
Sorry, Arsenal and Liverpool. But I just think that Tottenham deserved a spot in the semi-final. They played brilliantly. They messed up the first leg, but at home they were so good, so close, but they lost by a narrow gap of 2 goals. Thanks to Julian Alvarez and David Hanko for scoring that goal, and Xavi Simons with a brace.
Only two goals away from leveling it with Atletico. Hey, it's better than what Chelsea and Man City and Newcastle were able to do. We'll obviously be recapping all these matches while going through my final predictions, but as always, let me know your predictions in the comments below as well. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new, and let's get straight into it. Starting off with the repeat of last season, we saw this matchup in the round of 16.
If you don't know, Liverpool defeated Paris. What do you say? Paris Saint-Germain.
G versus Liverpool. And in that matchup last season, it was projected by many, including the...
Yes, I forgot. PSG defeated Liverpool 4-1 on penalties, which was very upsetting for all the Liverpool fans. So you can see over here, 4-1 in penalties, aggregate 1-1, and then it went as a tie. So it went to penalties, and Dembele scored the goal to make it to penalties.
Coaches of this matchup that whoever wins this match would go on to win the entire Champions League trophy. Anything's possible, of course, but I don't know if there's that same weight and pressure on both these sides. Liverpool overall have had a very disappointing season, far from their former selves.
Talking about disappointing, you can see they have only 49 points, which I think is not impressive, and the first leg against Galatasaray was awful. Previously, before that game they lost 1-0, which was expected. So
And PSG have also been all over the place. That's why I was so shocked they destroyed Chelsea. In the playoff round prior to facing Chelsea, they had such a nervy affair with Monaco, only defeating them 5-1 aggregate. And Monaco honestly were so close to coming back. Evo having a red card. That's why I doubted PSG going up against Chelsea. They truly did look gassed out, but just like last season, PSG in the Champions League were looking a bit doubtful.
now, if you talk to me, like what I would be looking at is, now PSG is,
And then
you say they're not that much exciting as they're like I see in the league. Aussie Lens are almost catching up on PSG, and I think they had a good comeback last season in the Champions League from playing to the playoffs to winning the Champions League. That's iconic, and they had a good run. But what am I thinking? That PSG is gonna defeat Liverpool. If you look at Liverpool's now performances, it has been downfall.
Back and
And
forth.
if you look
The attacking piece is shining once again. Benjamin Kvaratskhelia scoring 3 goals over both legs. Barcola was
that now PSG is gonna win the first leg 3-2 and the second leg 2-0. My scores are Barcola, Doué, Kvaratskhelia for the first leg, and then for Liverpool for the second leg is gonna be Gresala and Ekitike. Well, Ekitike is injured, forgot. Salah and Wirtz. Maybe Wirtz get an assist or a goal. And then 2-0 is gonna be Gonzalo Ramos and Barcola. Because I'm just saying, PSG's wingers is too good.
Proper finishes as well in each of the matches. Overall, PSG have shown once again how crazy their depth is in the attack. Sure, we can talk about the lineups Rosenior did put out, especially in that first leg, giving a few young and somewhat inexperienced players a chance in such a crucial matchup. But PSG doesn't care. They're very happy to get their revenge after the Club World Cup final. Chelsea's goalkeeper Sanchez definitely ate his words too soon. Worse than me. So PSG annihilating Chelsea, maybe we should talk about them as being one of the favorites to make it all the way to the final once again. They definitely have a very difficult road now.
People are saying I might think PSG might have a good run. Like, I'm just saying, they might emerge from the shadows, reach the final, or they might, what do you say, come to the semifinals. But you look at this bracket. The shape of the semifinals, shape of Atletico for some reason.
Even if they overcome Liverpool, they got to take on either Real Madrid or Bayern in the semis. But even with their shaky stance, they were going through a few injuries here and there. And what I said was true in my prediction. They were gassed out. They had such a demanding schedule. Now it just seems like they've undergone some breath of fresh air.
Yep. Like you see, PSG are literally the owners of Ligue 1. Whenever they tell they want to reschedule, they do. So since FC Lens, it's a new thing. Since FC Lens rejected to reschedule PSG's game, they got to play 3 games in 7 days. Well, that's so crazy. Just saying. So PSG had an advantage of warming up their players before every Champions League game. So that's advantage in a bad way. So maybe PSG come on top in this game.
And they're back at it. The individuality this team have cannot be ignored. They have some of the best midfielders you could ask for, the best fullbacks, like I said, some of the craziest depth in the attack. Meanwhile, Liverpool will obviously be happy to go back to dominant displays. 4-0 against Galatasaray is definitely not a result to take lightly, but at the same time, Galatasaray really are not that great away on European nights. Liverpool completely dominated them in the stats, and if you watch the match, you know that it should have been way more than 4 goals. Many times the attackers were quite wasteful in front of the net. If this was prime Liverpool, it definitely could have been 8 or so. And even though they destroyed Galatasaray 4-0, they still lost to the side twice while traveling to Rams Park this season. Recently failed to beat Tottenham at their own home ground. Lost to Wolves earlier this month. Sure, they have gotten some wins earlier as well, but no denying this has not been Liverpool's season. It would be crazy to see them turn things around, and it would be such a statement victory for Arne Slot if he does pull it off against PSG. But honestly, if he couldn't last season when Liverpool were at their A-game, I'm kind of doubtful for them now. Some positives when it comes to the individual brilliance. I mean, Ekitike still has a very decent tally. Vert's definitely much better than the start of the season. Szoboszlai often seen carrying the side even when they lose. I'm rooting for Liverpool, but with PSG's very one-sided display against Chelsea, I think I'm going to have to favor the French club. I'll say in the first leg, PSG get a 3-1 victory, and in the
close to mine, I said 3-2.
Second, Liverpool get a 1-0 victory at Anfield. Obviously, it's not enough. PSG advanced to the semi-finals.
I'm so sorry.
Who would take on Real Madrid or Bayern Munich? Definitely quite a tough one to call. Obviously, Real Madrid is considered the European rivals. Yes, we always have to see this matchup in recent times. It's on 2 yellows as well. We'll see if something like...
Yep, I'm telling you. Bayern's attack and defense are good. They are good. But I think that Madrid is going to stay more dominant by what... I have a feeling that FC Bayern Munich is going to make a comeback. With predictions. 3-0 for Real Madrid in the first leg. 3-0 for Bayern Munich in the second leg. And then when it comes to penalties, Madrid wins on penalties because of Courtois, and Leonard Carl misses and Kane misses one penalty. So my goal is Valverde, Vinicius Jr. and Mbappe score for Madrid in the first leg. For the second leg, I think Mikel Olise, Harry Kane, and then forgot his name. What was it? Cole scores in the second leg. And I think Courtois is gonna carry the game for them in the penalty shootout. So let's see what Hervé Zach has to say about this prediction.
That Ancelo's block goes over both legs, not to mention all the injuries that are still present. I mean, Rodrigo's ruled out for the rest of the season. It's a very tough one to call, but I definitely...
He is ruled out for the rest of the season, but I don't think he is a major need for Real Madrid in this match, because if you see, City are a very strong squad after the win in Carabao Cup, sad for Arsenal. But I'm just thinking defeating them 5-1 is diabolical, and I don't think Rodrigo is now, like right now, a very big and like a major need for Real Madrid. So
take over both legs. This one will be very close and down to the wire. Bayern's 10-1 aggregate victory against Atalanta is definitely something to watch out for. Not a result to take lightly. Atalanta have been getting some very solid results as of...
Yeah, I'm saying I'm telling you guys that yeah, but Bayern scored 10-2, and sometimes they struggle against a good squad like Madrid. So I'm thinking they're gonna make a comeback, but they're just gonna lose it all in the penalty shootout. I genuinely think that it's gonna happen, and that's the closest prediction.
Of late, and have been doing quite well against Bundesliga clubs, just couldn't handle the top giant. Kane absolutely clinical. Him and Mbappe are the top goal scorers of the competition so far. Out of the players that are still in the tournament, Mbappe obviously with 3 more though. When it comes to the assisters, Olise and Vinicius Jr. are at the top. The personnel this team have, Lucho has been a sensational signing. His last goal against Atalanta was exquisite. Leonard Carl...
Yes, Leonard Carl and Luis Diaz, Lucho might make a very big impact versus Real Madrid, but they might struggle to beat Real Madrid's defense as well. Where the Bellingham, Camavinga got it, and Tchouaméni I think got it stacked up, and then Mbappe, Vinicius Jr. to finish the work.
One of the most surprising best youngsters from this season. Kimmich being available is obviously a huge plus. Musiala randomly getting injured unfortunately. Hopefully he's fit for this.
Yes, like Kimmich is like he has good mentality, but I don't think he's gonna make a big impact in the game. He is a good player, but I don't think. And now you see this board of the players, goalkeepers injured. Jonas Urbik, I think they need a more experienced and a more dedicated goalkeeper than Jonas Urbik, but I think that's the only last choice they have. What happens if he gets a red card or injury? That's the saddest part. Then they have to bring an outfielder, which is gonna make almost a man less for them. But we go back to Musiala and Kimmich. Musiala is a big need, important need for Bayern Munich. Kimmich is an important need, but I don't think he's gonna make big. He's a big need, but I don't think he's making any big impact in the game.
There was a goalkeeper injury crisis for this side, and there was some scares for that second leg against Atalanta. I'm going to at least stick to them for this round in particular. They should at least make it to the semis. Bayern Munich should be able to defeat Real Madrid. It's not going to be easy, though. I'm actually going to say Real Madrid do get the 2-1 victory at the Santiago Bernabeu, but
I don't think Madrid is gonna get 2-1. They're gonna get a higher than 2-1. It's a home advantage, and Bayern Munich is not gonna last in the atmosphere for too long.
Once they travel to the Allianz Arena, Bayern should win 3-1. Fourth round aggregate could be more. This one's going to be the tightest one, I think.
Yeah, it might be like that, similar to his. At least, I think it's gonna be 5-4. Look, Madrid scores 3, Bayern only scores 1, okay? And then Bayern scores 3, Madrid scores 0. So you add that up. Let me do my maths, guys. So that's 4 for Real Madrid and 5 for Bayern. So I think it's gonna be a 5-4 in aggregate. I changed my prediction after hearing that. I think a 5-4 aggregate is a solid game. So Bayern should go through now.
But best of luck to both teams. Now for the other side of the bracket, we move on to a La Liga match.
My favorite as a Barca fan. I just have to hear what Hervezak has to say about Hervezak has to say about that, because I want to hear his predictions, and I might change mine. Because like last time they faced together, yeah, Barcelona was this close. I can't show you, but a closer than the end size of winning it. It's just if they replace someone good for Ferran Torres, and they might get ahead in this game.
Between Barcelona and Atletico Madrid, a Copa del Rey thriller we just saw not that long ago, where Atletico won the first leg 4-0, and then in the second, Barcelona nearly pulled off the sensational comeback, scoring.
This guy you see on the screen, this guy, and beside them, Joan Garcia, are gonna carry the whole game. I'm just saying they're gonna carry the whole game. I'm not being biased, but they're just gonna carry the whole game.
3 goals, but it wasn't enough. I would not be surprised if we see something similar once again, where it's a one-sided affair for each side on both legs. I feel like some people are not taking Barcelona too seriously as a top Champions League contender for this season in particular, because they've been leaking a lot of goals this season.
That's true. We have been conceding a lot of goals this season, but it doesn't mean our attack, defense, and midfield are not strong enough to handle the pressure of Champions League football. Despite the legends we had, it's 2026 now. You have to focus. You can see Pedri can control the midfield. Well, I think Atletico is gonna fall short in the Camp Nou at the first leg, and then Yamal, Rafinha are gonna make very big impact. So does the striker Rafinha. Lewandowski or Ferran Torres are gonna do, which I think we concede a lot of goals despite having Joan Garcia there. But I think he's gonna make a lot of crucial saves there. But I think Barcelona is narrowly gonna go through against Atletico. If we win, that's a big threat off our chests and a big burden off.
But after this result against Newcastle, I feel like some people are starting to change their minds. They scored 7 goals in the second leg of the Camp Nou, totally tearing apart Newcastle in the second half of the second leg. This side loved to give their opposition some kind of hope and then just annihilate them. They did struggle in that first half. Yamal did miss some sitters, then scored his penalty at the end of the first half, and everything changed from there. I'm happy Fermin Lopez is getting the credit he deserves. He is such a baller. Rafinha, even if his numbers have not been as stellar compared to last season, has still been so impactful. Lewandowski,
I'm gonna just say for all of them, Fermin Lopez, great baller, he shoots great baller. Rafinha is a leader, he carries the G team, provides when they need. Lewandowski is a top level striker who scores whenever the team needs him.
even at his age is pulling a shift. Coutinho got a bad injury, but he should be returning for this fixture, along with Balde and Frankie de Jong. Obviously, injuries can develop over time. This isn't really a prediction video, but for now, Barcelona...
Yeah, I agree with him, but I'm just saying Koundé's injury was not that severe. He should be back. So is Frankie de Jong, he should be back. It should be an exciting game. I'm so ready for this one. My prediction. Barcelona are gonna do 4-1 in Camp Nou. And then Atletico are gonna score 2-1. So that's 5-3 on aggregate. I think that's a perfect score. No one has to argue about that. Yeah.
Look to be in good timing for when this Champions League clash does commence. Atletico at the moment are not doing bad injuries themselves. Most of their squad at the time of this recording is fit. They did lose to Tottenham in the second leg, but it didn't matter. The aggregate was...
Yeah, talking about Tottenham, there are 2 reasons for this. There's 3 reasons actually. First reason, they didn't take the game too seriously. The second 2 reasons are they were like tired and not fit. And the first reason is they fell on short because maybe they had new tactics, or maybe they pushed through hard and Tottenham were way better.
5-7 for Atletico's strong first-leg performance. Regardless, the side have still been way too back in form and one of the most unpredictable clubs this season. One match will have a very one-sided display, and the next they'll completely fumble the bag. I mean, their Copa del Rey affair against Barcelona is the perfect example. But even in between all that, they had some heavy defeats, including to Rayo Vallecano, who were in relegation zone when they did defeat them. And many times this side are conceding quite a lot. It's kind of nice to see, though, because Simeone has definitely changed his tactics over time. It did kind of disintegrate his defensive identity, but Atletico are still an explosive side, and you never know how clinical they will actually be going into the fixture.
True, because I think Simeone changes tactics when he needs to not put pressure on his players, which is very nice coaching. But I think Barcelona is gonna take advantage of that tactic and win.
Obviously, they improved their attacking front with the likes of Lookman, a solid contributor, but sometimes I feel like his decision-making is not the most stellar in certain moments. Look at their schedule. Right before they take on Real Madrid in La Liga, then thankfully they don't have any matches for a while, as right after they have to face Barcelona. 3 times, by the way. Yes, they're going to be facing Barcelona in La Liga before they face them in the Champions League as well. So, could be an interesting test for both sides to maybe also mind game the type of tactics and then change things up when the Champions League actually does begin. Similar outcome of what happened in the Copa del Rey, where we just saw still advance, obviously. Won't be surprised if we're wrong because, like I said, Atletico have been way too chaotic this season as a whole, but I'm going to say Barcelona can make it.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, yeah, it's gonna be a close game because it's Camp Nou, and what I like learned from the Copa del Rey was that Atleti used attacking first half. Second, they used defending. So maybe Barcelona just might fell short 1 or 2 goals.
Get to the Champions League semi-finals.
So that's the video here. I was only doing it till the quarterfinals. For first and second leg, I'm gonna continue this video for the semifinals and finals. See you later. Bye. Let me just turn this off.